Okay, I don't know what's going on, folks. We're having a lot of problems tonight. Yep. Hi, King Hacienda. How you doing? Thanks for coming back. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're just having big connection problems. Who knows why? Whatever. Yep. I know you didn't do it. I I'm going to continue, okay? We're talking about our military is the finest in the world, thanks in no small part to our brave service members and their patriotic employers. During this week of recognition, I salute and honor all employers who cooperate and partner with our National Guard and Reserve service members for their unwavering support and selfless commitment to protecting our nation and preserving our American way of life. So here we have, I call upon all Americans to join me in expressing our heartfelt thanks to the civilian employers who provide critical support to the men and women of the National Guard and Reserves. I also call on the state and local officials, private organizations, and all military commanders to observe this week with appropriate ceremonies and activity. And so that's the president doing that. There's also, this is an executive order. There's a third app from China that is, says that's registered in Cayman Islands, but as a result of the acquisition, merged its TikTok application with Musical.ly's social media application, creating a single integrated social media application. So you know that the president has already said that he was going to ban the TikTok, and they merged with this other company here. That it's just another executive order to ban them as well. Let's just move along. Hopefully we can get through this. Statement by the president regarding the enhanced defense cooperation agreement with the Republic of Poland. So here we're supporting where our armed forces are providing defense support to Poland. So it looks like today my administration signed a historic enhanced defense cooperation agreement with the Republic of Poland. This agreement is the culmination of months of negotiations with our Polish allies following the two joint declarations I signed with President Duda last year. The agreement will enhance our military cooperation and increase the United States military presence in Poland to further strengthen NATO deterrence, bolster European security, and help ensure democracy, freedom, and sovereignty. My administration has done more for the United States Armed Forces than any other in history, including entirely rebuilding our military. This agreement is yet another in a series of actions that will protect our forces and increase their ability to carry out their mission. Additionally, this agreement serves as a model for other nations with respect to equitable burden sharing. I thank President Duda, the Polish people, and the members of my administration for their hard work in making this agreement a reality. The United States looks forward to implementing the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement with Poland and to continuing our important work together. And then we have the White House photos of the week. Of course, we have some wonderful photos. Here is the president arriving at a press conference at the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster on Saturday. Here's the president signing this memorandum on continued student loan repayment relief during the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, again, at Bedminster, you have the president saluting as he prepares to board Marine One, salutes the Marines as he prepares to board Marine One en route to Long Branch, New Jersey, where he was going for a fundraiser. Here's an interesting photo, very interesting photo of the president. Nice black and white one by Sheila Craighead. Interesting. And this was, of course, the moment that the Secret Service informed the president that he needed to step away from the podium during a shooting outside of the White House perimeter. And here you have the President Trump listening to reporters' questions during a press conference, and Stephen Mnuchin answering reporters' questions. You have the president. This man has so much patience. I don't know where he gets it all from, but thank God he does, because there's some really, really, really unprofessional people who sit before him. If I was back there, folks, I would be asking our president questions about how does he do it all, about all of his accomplishments and as he laid out his 6-point plan for what he plans to do in the administration for the next 4 years. I would ask him more questions about that in terms of new technology and in terms of many other things as well. Not this crazy, what do you call it? Just propaganda narratives that they have. We have Second Lady Karen Pence delivering remarks during Veteran Suicide Roundtable in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we have some more shots of that. Unfortunately, everybody's wearing a face mask. It's ridiculous. Here we have Kellyanne Conway delivering remarks at the roundtable on Kids First, getting America's children safely back to school. We have the president, and we have Vice President Mike Pence there as well, and other educators and leaders here who are part of this roundtable regarding getting kids safely back to school. And here's a photo, and of course it's Betsy DeVos. I don't know what she's doing. I really don't. I really hope she would kill this Common Core and replace it with actual real education, not indoctrination, like real facts of our history, real information. Oh, we'll see. Now, here we have President Trump listens to advisor Dr. Scott Atlas delivers remarks during a press conference Wednesday. This was regarding his opinion regarding the COVID-19 and the face masks, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And of course, we have the Vice President Pence and First Lady delivers remarks during a pool party for military families. So that was very cute. And have some more photos of that. And here we have, this was the big conference here. President Donald Trump, joined by White House senior advisors, speak on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates, about their agreement to establish full normalization of relations between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. In the Oval Office, this was Thursday, August 13th, 2020. Big deal, folks. This is huge. Or should we say huge? More photos of that historic phone call and landmark agreement there, peace deal. And then here is President Trump holds up a photo of 4-year-old Legend Taliaferro as he announces the arrest of the man accused of killing this little boy during a press conference on August 13th. So here's the president again, more press conference photos, and as always, more press conference photos. And here's the president arriving at the Wall Street landing zone in New York City to visit his brother, who has been hospitalized at New York Presbyterian Hospital. They weren't supposed to publish that, but they did. So I kind of, I want to be very careful with what I'm publishing here, but it does seem like that's it in a nutshell. I'm really sorry about the interruption. There wasn't anything I could do about it. I hope. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Yeah, I'm just having, Sherry, we were cut out like 5 times tonight. And, everybody, I had to reopen anew. I'm not even on, I don't think I'm even on Ascension Radio tonight at this moment. Yeah. So we've had a lot of challenges to getting this report done tonight. I guess at this point, I just want to see it get done. I just wanted to screen share a couple of documents that were leaked, of course, online. And this was during the last presidential campaign, and this had to do with this is really what you call opposition research, this Benison Strategy Group, paid for by the Clinton Foundation. This is called their salvage program, where they were looking to they were really looking to find exact information on how people were feeling regarding the election in 2016. And then they would make recommendations for the DNC as to how they should move and how they should go forward. And I just thought it was really, really quite funny to see some of this. I'm going to screen share it just a little bit. So here it is. This is called the salvage program. How are they going to salvage their campaign? And it isn't really even possible. He says, at this point, Donald Trump has both momentum and enthusiasm. Distrust in mainstream media is blunting the impact of the collective polling narrative. It's all BS, folks. It's all fake. As election day approaches, Hillary Clinton's favorable ratings have crashed into historic lows, 12% in nonpartisans. And Donald Trump is consolidating support. 97% of LV Republican identifying respondents are either enthusiastic or very enthusiastic about voting for President Trump. Now, this was the 2016 election, right? This is interesting. I mean, there's a lot of information here. They went through a lot of statistics. They said that among independents, Hillary voters who are exposed to any alternative media, 73% are aware of the WikiLeaks emails and find them either disturbing or deeply disturbing. Among liberals identifying white, support is shifting from Hillary to Donald Trump. So they know that social media, particularly WikiLeaks, played a huge role in the election last time, and that's why they're going after social media so virulently this time. On other fronts, the counter narrative is failing as well. Most heavy consumers of social media understand that the allegations against Donald Trump of sexual misconduct have largely been debunked. That's 77% of people. We understand that communication strategies in that space have been unable to reduce the impact of this messaging. Yeah, that's because people can think for themselves. What do you know about that? Worse, among white males in telephone polling, 93% of them either approve or strongly approve of Donald Trump's hot mic tape. On a disturbing note, some 70% of Republican-leaning voters are aware bust-in voting, false face operations, and dead man's party registration drives. This may necessitate severe strategy change for November. Yeah, you can't sign up dead people. Oh my goodness, folks. What do you think of that? I just want to know what you all think of that. I mean, they are very, very well aware of the strong support for President Trump. Now, they've made recommendations as well of ways to keep the voters out of the polling booth, to keep all this support away from Donald Trump. Now, look, if they're willing to do this back then in 2016, of course they're willing to release a pandemic, or at least they're trying to use this pandemic, or they're trying to use a flu-like thing that they're calling a pandemic, which is a plandemic, which is a scamdemic. They're trying to use this to keep voters away from the booth. Now, we know this, right? This is it. Look. We have analyzed a number of potential salvage options and have a strong recommendation. Look at this, salvage. They need a salvage operation. Oh my God. This was in 2016, folks. Non-recommended salvage options, right? What is this, page 6? Support is too widespread. While an RD scenario using Red Dawn scenario using UN forces and Canadian border infiltration would be effective in shutting down northern voting, it would simply delay the inevitable and result in hardened support for Mr. Trump. Risk and issues: loss of property and life, and all alternate right forces are prepared for battle. Alt-right forces are prepared for battle. Well, you got that right. And they still are prepared for battle, folks. The cobalt rain. The public has been primed for radiological attack and stockpiles have been positioned. But while the pathological impact of a CO-16 weapon cobalt-16 weapon is severe. That's the battery that's in the Tesla cars. Isn't that right, folks? Double check on that. What are we talking about here? A Co-16 weapon? The threshold of opportunity may have passed for this to stop a vote. Look what they're trying to do to stop votes, folks. The risks and issues they're saying: loss of profit under martial law, and leaks could compromise. Whoa, this is amazing. BL riot. Again, white staged civil unrest could prevent pockets of Americans from voting. The damage is too widespread. Risks and issues: command and control is dicey at this point, as substantial numbers of employed minorities have defected to Trump. Now they have a Zikapocalypse, right? Improved strains of Zika have been delivered, and we have disseminated them to operatives. Listen to this. Are you hearing this? Does this sound familiar? Unfortunately, this will suppress women voters more than men, even as Zika is lethal in adults. This would hurt Hillary Clinton, and Trump voters are willing to risk lethal pathogens to vote. Did you hear that? Trump voters are willing to risk lethal pathogens to vote. They know. They know. They know very, very well. Look at that. Risk and issues, post-election control. Right. Once the virus is out of the gate, how do you put it back in? And you don't. So this is crazy stuff, man. This is beyond politics. This is as dirty, rotten, lethal, awful, scandalous. This is so horrific. This is so despicable. This is despicable. The despicable Democrats. Look at what they're willing to do to stop a vote. This is what they were willing to do in 2016, folks. So you know how desperate they are today to try to stop a vote. And that's what they're trying to do. This is crazy. I wonder what Benison came up with salvage options for this election. Let's keep going. Sharia escalation. I hope you guys can see this. I really want to try to get this a little bit bigger. Sharia escalation. States have blocked key immigrant operatives. Without the required Muslim Islamist population in place, the IE plan will not be sufficiently impactful. Leo is pro-Trump and will not roll over due to Muslim demands of political correctness. Look at that. Unnatural disaster. HARP is in skeleton crew mode. Subterranean thermobaric devices and fracking mines are untested. Surveys suggest this might not stop Trump voters. Risks, issues, unproven techniques, unintended consequences. Reactivating HARP may have pale horse protocol ramifications. Interesting. This is crazy. This is so crazy, folks. This is crazy. Here's their little laser situation, their little laser, what do you call it? This is for creating. So you notice how there's 4 lasers here. This creates a hologram image. So this is going to be used for the fake alien invasion, right? For almost 2 decades, the Department of Defense and NASA have coordinated on a black book project under the code name Firesign. Firesign's aim is to create a religious awe effect in enemy populations to create an instantaneous psychological soft kill, abject submission. The operation uses high-powered lasers to project real-seeming images on the sodium layer 100 kilometers above the surface. These images can cover hundreds or even thousands of square miles and can appear completely real, 3-dimensional, and can move. Kind of like airplanes, right? These visual cues are augmented with pulsed ELF electromagnetic emissions. Project Sanguine. That attack the specific areas of the prefrontal cortex that are stimulated during religious experience. In limited tests, subjects have been able to be overwhelmed on both axes of vastness, an overwhelming of the subject's frame of reference, and a powerful need for accommodation. The mix of these two will produce inaction, lack of focus on self or individual interaction, and gross transformations in mental equilibrium. Oh boy, folks, look at what they're willing to do. I mean, this is just amazing. I just want to know what you think about this. You guys have any comments on this? Do you understand how desperate they are, and to what extent that these the far left are willing to go? Look at that. I wonder what Benison's group would have to say today. Let me just go to page 5. This is interesting. You're going to find this interesting, folks. Oh, let's look at this. This is one. Wait a minute. All right. Let me move that one. There's 8 pages to this. Let's check it out. The public has lost faith in polling. Well, of course we have, as we all know it's fake. People are waking up. Nobody's buying these polls anymore. Poll-driven narratives. Let's enlarge this a little bit. A little bit bigger. Make this side a little bit bigger. There we go. Poll-driven narratives have been pushed too far, alienating most of the voting population. The use of polls as a psychological weapon has also been noticed, especially on social media. This is like Satan talking. This is like the evil, dastardly, evil controllers of the world trying to regain control over the world. This is how maniacal. Look how maniacal this sounds, right? This isn't even politics. This isn't even adversary. This is maniacal, right? As the poll gap narrative becomes even more extreme, obvious visible evidence, rally size, yard signs, bumper stickers, memes, social media posts become more and more obviously contradictory. Attempts at shaming outspoken poll deniers, such as Bill Mitchell on Twitter, have failed in 2016, where they succeeded Dean Chambers in 2012. We are in uncharted territory. Yeah, they completely underestimated. The powerful effect of social media in 2016, and that's why Hillary lost. Also because they couldn't rig the elections. So even hooks into philosophical compromised pro-Republican polling outfits, such as Fox, Rasmussen, and Gravis, have not produced substantial results. Yep. And here it is. Yeah, Monmouth University, they never call me. Of course they don't. Quinnipiac can't pronounce them, can't trust them. Rasmussen, they caved in after 2012, 2%. Nate Silver, he cheats, 14%, right? Public policy polling, I was insulted by them on Twitter, 51%. Amazing. This is strong Trump support. Least trusted polling outfit, they found. Folks, don't participate in these polls, because then they're going to figure out how to overcome those challenges, right? I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I mean, if you do decide not to participate, you'd be doing probably a better service, right? Provide an accurate overview of the race, 11%. Provide a general point in time assessment, 13%. Provide pro-Democrat propaganda, 56%. Okay? Be damaged, misleading, or absurd, 14%. Yeah. For an accurate view of the race, I trust Fox News, 6%. Broadcast news, meaning ABC, NBC, or CBS, 5%. Cable news, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, 2%. Social media, 31%. Boom. My gut instincts, 21%. And then look at this. Donald Trump, 29%. Hillary Clinton, 1%. They know very well that social media that they won. Donald Trump won using social media. But wouldn't you also say that so did Barack Obama? I think he did as well. But you have to understand social media. You have to understand it really well in order to understand um, how to succeed with it, right? Now look at this. This is how desperate the Democrats are. This is how desperate. They can't win legitimately. They can't. They can't win legitimately. So what do they do? This was last election. Okay? Last election. Let's take a look at what happened. The ability to produce these effects. Now here we have, look, 3D hologram image. Here's the UFO. Sodium layer. Yeah, is that what the chemtrails are doing up there? Is that contributing to that? Atmospheric turbulence, laser beam coming from the controller, the wavefront sensor, controller, deformable mirror, right? Infrared. They know how to create this hologram, let's call it, okay? The fire sign scenario is that of an invading extraterrestrial force of nearly incomprehensible scale, massive floating cities descending, God-sized walkers among the clouds with terrifying weapons, wheels of fire and eyes. And I think they've used this. I've seen pictures of this, of these walkers on the clouds that have been posted on social media, and they sure look interesting. I don't know what they were, but I think it's this, because this is what they're talking about, right? God-sized walkers among the clouds with terrifying weapons, wheels of fire and eyes. This phenomena, when activated, will bring electoral and social systems to a halt, and in afflicted areas will permit a narrative wherein Potus is able to call a halt to the invasion and then hand over the torch to Clinton, providing a basic continuity of state. Oh my God. They're such psychopaths. They think we're gonna fall for that junk? Holy cow. The aftermath of fire sign will be the psychological subjugation of areas where uprisings are most likely to occur. The induced trauma of fire sign will provide ample cover to government and NGOs who will be providing aid, psychotropic to induce docility. Providing aid, psychotropic to induce docility, and counseling service, which will ensure further domestication. They have if you don't realize, it's all rigged, folks. Everything is rigged in our reality. Everything. This is their evidence of it, right? Fire sign will require a great deal of power, mobile command stations with nitrogen-cooled supercomputers, and the co-opting of the ELF arrays. We have created a schedule and team roster that can be moved into position following the third debate. They're sick. This is real stuff, folks. This is real insanity. This is maniacal controllers, people who want power, people who want to rule the world. This is stuff of comic books, but it's real. And let's see where we go at the end of all this. Made it. Okay, a $50,000 check was sent to Benison for this junk. It's amazing. Unbelievable. Just wonder what you all think about that, right? What do you all think about this? This is the extent that the Democrats, they cannot win legitimately. They have to pull off. This is amazing. This was back in 2015, folks, just so you know. Let's look at page 2 of this. Top line numbers. At this point, Donald Trump has both momentum and enthusiasm. Distrust in the mainstream media is blunting the impact. Ooh, no, people just get it. They're seeing through your pop. Look what they're saying. Distrust in the mainstream media. That means people know it's Operation Mockingbird. People know it's propaganda now, okay? September 28th to 30th of 2016. Clinton hard, Clinton soft, Trump hard, Trump soft. This is a support, right? Clinton's collapse in both soft and hard support was steady and pronounced following the first debate. Yep. Yeah, look at this. Trump mind made up. I mean, it's very clear. It's very clear. This was, I don't think, folks, after what the Democrats have done, do you think it's going to get better? Do you think these numbers do you think they have a chance in hell? This is their own research that they did. Do you think that they have a chance in hell to win this election legitimately? This is crazy stuff, folks. This is really crazy stuff. What else do we have? This was... Okay. This is my favorite part. Is everybody still there? This is my favorite part, right? I'm going to enlarge this because I want everybody to see it really good. Look at this. Trump voters are virtually unstoppable. And you know what, folks? We're even more unstoppable now because we want a constitutional America. That's what we want. We don't want a socialist America. That's not what America was made for. It's not what the founding fathers set up and established for America. And if you don't like that and you want socialism, there's plenty of other countries in the world that you can go to for that. But you're not going to make this a socialist country. Communist, Marxist, none of it, right? Where 11% of hard Clinton supporters could be dissuaded from voting by a strong storm. Be dissuaded from voting by a strong storm. And 17% would balk at a 90-minute wait. Trump's strong support only diminishes in the events of catastrophic attacks on America. Some demographics, blue-collar white men between the ages of 30 and 64, were more likely to say they would vote in the event of an active riot standing between them and the ballot. No Clinton supporters made it past the Q20 screening question, while 74% of Trump voters moved to question 21. How do you like that, folks? They are well aware of how strong and how committed their support is, Trump's support is. And you know what, folks? It's even stronger today. And don't let them make you think for a minute that it's not. Here you have hard Clinton support. What events could stop you from voting? They want to stop us from voting. That's what they want to do. Or they're going to try to hijack the whole thing through fake ballots. Look, a storm. This is hard Clinton support. So it's for the Clinton supporters, only a storm would stop them, or a powerful storm, Zika or other epidemiological agent, 12%. Threat of violence at polling stations, only 11. Long lines, 90-minute plus, 17. None, 45%. Okay, look at this. Whoa, check this out, folks. Question 19. So that was question 19 for the hard Clinton support. This is question 19 for hard Trump support. What events could stop you from voting? A storm, 0. A powerful storm, 3%. Zika or other epidemiological agent, 1%. Threat of violence at polling stations, 4, compared to their 11. We clearly have different groups of people, right? Zika, hard Trump supporters said only 1% said they would stop them from voting, whereas hard Clinton support, 12% said they would not vote, right? Long lines, 90 plus minutes, 0. Whereas 17% said that would stop them. 17% of hard Clinton supporters said it would stop them. Nothing, 90% of Trump supporters said nothing will stop them. Question 20, hard Clinton support. What events could stop you from voting? Threat of war, 14%. Natural disaster, 23%. Active riots, civil unrest, 40%. Lethal epidemiological agent smallpox, 22%. None, 0. There was 0 people that said none. Now, question 20 for hard Trump supporters. What events could stop you from voting? Threat of war, 3%. Natural disaster, so 3% to Clinton's 14. Natural disaster, 5% to Clinton's 23%, right? Active riots, civil unrest, 0%. Where that was 40% of Democrats wouldn't show up for a vote. Lethal epidemiological agent smallpox, 16%, whereas they're 22%. They're just a bunch of wussies is what it really looks like to me. None, 74%. No events would stop them. 74%, whereas 0. Question 21, hard Trump support. So this is where hard Clinton support didn't make it to question 21, according to their research. What events could stop you from voting? Shooting war in neighborhood, 8%. External invading force. Oh, here's that here's that fake alien invasion, right? 17%. Attack by extraterrestrials, 38%, which is why they went with such a crazy, crazy program, right? Biblical events, 16%. None, 17%. It's crazy. This is really, they really get into the psychological. They want to understand every turn of the road, every option, every opportunity. This is crazy stuff, huh? What do you guys think of this? I'm really, really curious what you all think of this. Am I still alive or what? Yeah. I mean, do you guys realize the risk I'm taking sharing that kind of information with everybody? Can I get some thumbs up for this? Do you realize this is leaked information and that this is insight into the DNC and into how they operated and what happened with the 2016 election down to the last vote? The psychological preparations for this. Do you guys all realize the risk I'm taking for myself to share this with you? I hope you do. I hope you give this report a thumbs up so that you can realize. I mean, I've been attacked 5 times during this report tonight, so somebody didn't want this information getting out. But this was the last election. This election, crazy. Let me tell you, Trump's support, regardless of what these say, regardless of what this report said from the from the Democrats, his President Trump's support is far more stronger. I can tell you that there's no chance. There's no chance the Democrats are going to legitimately win this election. There's no way this is going to happen. And this is why I'm already showing you with these numbers. Look, this is their own research. These are their numbers. And they didn't think they were going to lose. You saw how bleak and how meek and how weak these statistics were for the Democrats in 2016. And they believed she couldn't lose. Now you've got a senile clone and a Jezebel clone running on the Democrat ticket. Folks, I don't know. I have to tell you, I just think this is it's going to get crazy. We have 80 days left to the election. 80 days. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. This is crazy stuff. I would love to get my hands, anybody would love to get their hands on this kind of information. To what extent? They had the statistics, they had the polling, they know polls. The Democrats know nobody trusts the polls anymore. The Democrats know that nobody trusts the media. They know it. The Democrats know nothing's going to stop a Trump voter from going to vote. That's the bottom line. Because President Trump is our only hope right now to keep America great, to make it great, or the best we can do. Thanks, Victoria. I appreciate that. Yeah, look, I don't know what's going on with Millie Weaver. I was told this whole thing is a psyop. I don't know what's going on. I have not looked into it. I'll tell you, folks, I don't have time to look into every single story that's out there. I have a feeling there's just weird stuff going on with that whole thing. I don't know. I just don't have enough facts. Okay? But what's going to happen is we had Dr. Fauci today saying, and he's been saying this for a while now, right? He's been saying for a while that there's no reason why people can't go to the polls and vote. And there isn't. Here you had Tony the Rat Fauci coming out telling people that this is going to be so bad and you're going to have a second outbreak and you're going to have to social distance and you can't go here, you can't go there, we can't resume our normal life, we can't do this, but you can go vote. So that's okay. We see that Fauci had no comment when it came to the protests, when it came to, and when questioned on the Hill, right? Oh, that day Jim Jordan got a hold of him. That day was amazing, right? Jim Jordan said, well, you're saying that the protests have increased the spread of COVID, but you're not recommending that people stop protesting. But you're recommending that, but you've made other recommendations where people can't go to church and people can't. So when do you decide, which First Amendment right that you get to eliminate? What's politically convenient for you, right? It's amazing, folks. It's really amazing. Look, please give this report a thumbs up. I'm going to have to do some video editing and kind of patch it all together. This was very strange report tonight, folks. Very, very strange. But these documents I shared were leaked. They were leaked. They were dropped, I think, in one of the WikiLeaks dumps. And of course, they deleted our first channel, which had our first 200 reports on it. They also deleted our blogs. Now, the blogs that we had also had the WikiLeaks Vault 7, contents in it. So I'll tell you, folks, I think we did a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are using social media. And we have to also realize we have to go to other social media accounts. And you know what? I don't need to be one of these big accounts with 100,000, a million subscribers. I just don't need it. You know what I mean? I'm happy being a small fish for now. A goldfish, I suppose, right? So everybody, that's it for tonight. Sorry about what happened with the dropping of the reports, and we're going to have to. I'm just going to have to do some editing and cut these reports together and get it together and publish it. I might have to remove this one and just upload the edited one because we missed the first part of the report. So I just want to know what you all think about those documents that I shared. And, is anyone surprised at the extent the Democrats went to try to figure out what would stop a vote? Once they realized how strong the support for Trump was, their focus was now on, well, they had no ticket to really run on, so how could they stop the vote? I don't remember seeing an alien invasion, by the way, but of course they lost. And it's amazing to think that with all this research that these documents that we shared tonight, it's amazing with all that research that they knew how bad the support was diminishing for Hillary Clinton, that they still, this is true psychopaths, right? These are sociopaths. These are people who just won't believe anything. They won't believe the facts that were in front of them. They would not believe it. They would not believe it. So I just want everybody to know that I really thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Please share this video far and wide. Please share this, upload it, reload it. The channel hasn't been monetized. We tried for a short period of time and it just didn't last. It didn't work. So just try to share this, upload it, share it far and wide as you can. If you can, I don't really care. I just want the best for America, and that will trickle down to the rest of the world. They're waiting for us and they're counting on us, folks, to get it right this election. And I have to tell you, just in closing, I'm just, I have a lot of faith in Americans. I have a lot of faith, I would say, in patriots. People who really do want to do good things. People who have enough of a mind, a smart, and I have to tell you, it's not really the fault of the kids that are really misled, and because they've been dumbed down by a lot of things. So it's frustrating. It is frustrating that there's a lot of very ignorant people, but it has been by design and it isn't truly their fault. The problem is, how do you get through to them? And I don't have an answer to that. I've been working on that for 5 years. But this month, folks, is our 555th report. It's a 555 special. And it's also, this month is a 555 month. It is the a month that has 5 Saturdays, 5 Sundays, and 5 Mondays. It is truly a 555, and it falls on our 5-year anniversary. It's just amazing, all the fives, and 5 is a sign of change. It's a number of change, but it's also my 555th report. And I do screen share and share some of the very first GoldFish report that I did, and it's amazing. I was so much more hopeful that 5 years later, if there was a 5 years later, that the world would be in such a better position. And I feel like in some ways it is because of what Donald Trump has done, but in some ways I still feel that uh, we're still at war, and these are tough times for everybody. And I mean, it's very tough for me personally, quite honestly. So I try to, yeah, I try to hang in there. And as long as you guys are with me every Saturday night, I think I can get through it. So, but I'm going to keep using the access to information I have and the information I get, and I'm going to share it with you. And I want you all to decide and think for yourselves, and share this video as far as you can. So I hope everybody is going to have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yep. Oh, I do need to work on myself. I do. I am a mess in some ways. I have many things, many changes that I need to be personally making for myself and my family. But it does have to do with, when I say I'm a mess, I'm just talking about this 9 years of litigation, of divorce litigation I've been involved in. And it just, there's no justice, folks. It's all an illusion. It's a damn fantasy. It's all the Wizard of Oz. None of this is real that you're looking at. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's the truth. Right? How is Judge Sullivan getting away with all of what he's doing? Because no one is stopping him, right? I mean, Abraham Lincoln said in the Gettysburg Address, right, that it was the duty of the people, we the people, by the people, for the people, to maintain and keep the checks and balances of this country, so that it does not perish from the earth, right? But every American must realize you need to grow a pair, and you need to step up to the plate now, right now, or there's not going to be any future, folks, for you to worry about. It will be taken from us. It's already being taken from us. So now's the time to step up. And if I could, say it any other way to communicate how emphatic I am about this, I'm at a loss. I just don't know how else to communicate this, and realize that everybody, you must ask, what can you do to help this country now? That's just how it is. So everybody has to go within and find out what it is on their own, what you can do yourself. I can't give you that answer. So I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you so much. That's right, Slim. That's right. Good to see you, Slim. Good to see everybody. Ariel, Judy, Adam. Adam's in here all the time. I appreciate you guys coming by. And again, I apologize for all the interruption we had, but there's absolutely nothing I could do about it. Someone didn't want this report going tonight. So much trouble. But I want to thank you all for joining me, and we'll be back on, on Monday. Well, we'll be back on BitChute on Monday with a political theater report with the Fets, as you know, right? Right, lipstick. With the Fets, we'll see him on Monday on BitChute, folks. And then I'm going to be gone fishing for a week. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be doing a political theater the week after that, because I'm going to take a couple of days off. Yeah, with my girls, I hope. And just have go fishing. It's time for the GoldFish Report to go fishing for a week. Because God knows I need it. If I can swing it. A lot of bills. So, all right, everybody, you have a great night. And I'll catch you next week. We have a lot of reports going. 548. Just so you know, our 555th report has already been pre-recorded, and you can watch it if you become a Patreon. You can pre-watch that. Patreons have that as part of their membership. It's part of our way of thanking our Patreons for being there for us and helping us get the fundamental bills paid for the GoldFish Report, and keep our VPN going, keep our Slim, keep our subscriptions going for the software that we use, and for the URLs that we have, and the security on the websites, and all this other stuff. After the death threats, I needed to upgrade my security big time. So look, folks, this is a fight. This is a battle. We're all in it together. Do what you can do to help support it. I do what I can do. And if you can help make sure the bills get paid and the lights stay on here, that would be a great help too. I want a future for my kids, and I want a future for your kids. So we all need to wake up together, and we need to move forward and make sure Donald Trump gets reelected. So you guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah, balls of steel. Yeah, I used to say in my marriage, there was one set of balls in this family, and from time to time he would borrow them. So you all have a great night, and have a great weekend, and I'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend, and this concludes this edition of the GoldFish Report.